for what for many of you will be a bingo free square, which is a feature that is infrequently used. So if this shows up as a blank space, congrats Taylor Swift, go ahead and get yourself a drink. We're going to go to location memberships. Location membership reports show you devices based off of location, as the name implies. They're very similar to groups, but there are a few distinct differences. First and foremost, being that groups can have any number of devices assigned to them. Let me strike that and reverse it. First and foremost being a unit may be a member of any number of groups. However, a unit may only have one location at a time. So we can see here that Calgary, Reykjavik, and the White House all have some devices assigned to them. But there are no devices that are in more than one of these locations. We can check these locations if you'd allot me the cheating of going to a separate screen to show it off. We'll look at locations. I know this is an off of AR main 7, but let's just show off the functionality of this, of being able to see where these locations are on the map if you're particularly curious. But for the purposes of our training, let's go ahead and stay on track with our location memberships as just essentially the same as group memberships, but with limitations to membership. And just like group memberships, we can also see devices not assigned to locations through this interface. Now, what's important to know about these locations is that they're used in conjunction with groups for targeting. So when you send a preset or a custom alert, you include the type of device and the group targeted. Any device must meet those two criteria to be activated. It must be, for instance, if you say Alertus Desktop and the admin group, it must be both an Alertus Desktop and in the admin group. The same holds true for locations. If you add a location in your targeting when sending out an alert, you have three criteria that must be met. It must be the alert service. We'll again say Alertus Desktop. It must be an admin unit if we use the admin targeting group, and it must be in the location you specify. It's a way to further restrict the devices activated, not to further increase the range of devices activated. The one very important caveat is unassigned alert devices that meet your other two criteria will be activated. I'm going to say this again slowly and carefully because this is super important. If you are using locations to restrict the number of devices that you are activating, but you have unassigned alert devices that meet the other criteria, i.e. they are in the correct group and are of the correct device type, they will be activated even though they have no location assigned. This is to ensure that in any case of ambiguity, devices are activated rather than not activated, because we are an emergency activation platform. We want people to receive these notifications if there's any concern or any ambiguity as to whether or not they should be because it's an emergency. Let's go ahead and take a look at our PowerPoint. Here's a review. The location membership report shows the locations assigned to devices. Wild, I know, right? Devices may only be a member of one location at a time. Again, this is in contrast to group memberships, where they may be a member of many groups simultaneously. You can be both an administrator and in Reykjavik, but you cannot be both in Reykjavik and in Calgary. And locations are used to filter other targeting methods. Again, this is an and filter, not an or filter.